Bulgaria offers a diverse and breathtaking nature, from Varna's picturesque beaches on the Black Sea to the vibrant city life of Sofia and the majestic mountains of the Balkan mountain range. It is known for its comparatively low cost of living, good education system, low corporate taxes, hospitality of its people, and rich history and culture. On my channel you will find many videos about the advantages of Bulgaria, but some are also interested on the other side of the coin. Because as in any country there are some downsides that you will have to consider when moving to Bulgaria. Let's start with the low wages. Bulgaria has the lowest average wage within the European Union, amounting to about 1,000 euros per month. Of course, there are big regional differences, and it also depends on what industry you work in, but you should already know before you move to Bulgaria how you want to make money. Besides of the low income level, Bulgaria has to deal with other economic challenges such as brain drain, high social inequality, comparatively high inflation, and a high dependency on EU funding. Although the unemployment rate is only at about 5% according to Wikipedia statistics, almost 1/3 of Bulgaria's population is considered at risk of poverty. So it makes sense to move to Bulgaria either with enough savings or to have a regular income stream from abroad or the internet. Another disadvantage is that immigrants report a high level of bureaucracy. Interaction with authorities, whether in the private or commercial sector, is described as inefficient and time-consuming. Contradictory statements from authorities are not uncommon. But to be fair, most countries in the world have too much bureaucracy. It is difficult for any state to tighten its belt. Nevertheless, the Bulgarian government is making efforts to reduce bureaucracy and also facilitates ways to invest in Bulgaria. However, there is still a need for more efficiency and transparency in order to reduce bureaucracy in Bulgaria and thus promote economic development. Another point you should consider is the language. Bulgaria uses the Cyrillic alphabet, which is surprisingly easy to learn. However, it is not easy to learn the language. Apart from that, especially away from Sofia and tourist regions, English is not very widespread. While younger people have English skills, Russian skills are widespread among residents over 40. If you are interested in moving to Bulgaria, it is definitely worthwhile to start learning the Bulgarian language. This will also show your willingness to integrate into Bulgarian society. The use of tobacco products is widespread in Bulgaria. 30 to 40% of the population in Bulgaria smokes regularly, which makes it one of the top 10 countries with highest percentage of smokers. Of course, it is not directly a disadvantage for you as long as you do not start smoking as well. Corruption is also something to consider. Although progress has been made in fighting corruption, it remains present in several areas. Bribery, illegal influence and nepotism, as well as corruption within the business community, inhibit the country's development. Bulgaria is ranked 78th in the corruption index, ranking last within the European Union. Another disadvantage described by immigrants is the presence of robber gangs in more rural areas. Bulgaria is a safe country, however in the countryside theft can occur and one should simply use common sense. Pollution in some regions of Bulgaria is also mentioned as a drawback. One encounters pollution in some areas of the country, caused for example by coal mining, especially in the south of the country, or by illegal landfills. Coal was used for a long time as an important energy source for power generation, and coal power plants played an essential role in the country's energy supply. But Bulgaria must cut 40% of its CO2 emissions by 2026. On the one hand, this threatens the coal industry in Bulgaria. About 110,000 Bulgarians live directly or indirectly from it, and thus this is a big issue in the affected regions. But on the other hand, it is good for Bulgarian nature and environment. While parks are well maintained, in cities one can see occasional litter pollution as well. The last downside is the fact that after your move to Bulgaria, you will probably notice some extra kilos on the scale. Banitsa, kavarna, tarator and many other dishes are waiting to be tasted by you. So don't be afraid to dive into the delicious cuisine of Bulgaria.